been 3 weeks, Jules, since we have connected live and brought our energy truly together. I mean, we talk, the two of us personally, but to come together and bring our joy together and our shine together for all of you. It's been a while. So, it was the end of summer, vacation was happening, and it was just all in divine timing. And with COVID around, it felt like we needed vacation, and we did it. We did 2 vacations, and now my kids are in school, and I'm back. I'm so glad to be back. How are you?
I know. I'm glad to have had the rest too. I mean, people don't realize, but it takes some energy to do your lives, to talk, to show up, to share. So I'm happy. I was really looking forward to it today because it's been, I think you said 3 weeks, right? Because the first Friday I had that funky energy release after I'd gone for my facial. And then, you were on 2 weeks vacation or 2 vacations.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Hi, Rosie.
Hi. So if you guys we'll just kind of chit chat a little bit while everyone's coming in. We'll just kind of catch up. We're going to be talking about joy, but I don't want to jump in too quickly because I want, people to have time to get their notifications on Facebook and in YouTube and stuff. So we are going in 5 different spots. So there's going to be different comments. So please comment when you're here. Let us know that you're here. We want to greet you and we want to say hi, and we want to connect. We want to connect with your energy. That's the whole purpose of us coming on, is for Giuliana and I to connect as the Shine Sisters, and then to also connect with you guys and just kind of check in and see where we're all at, because so many changes are happening around the world, right? And the energy is shifting. We're in a new month. We're in August, which is a new month. And so just lots going on.
Yeah, we're almost at the Lionsgate portal. And, before I was in this spiritual world, I just thought that I was in a bitchy mood all the time. But now I know that it's energy. And wow, have I, like this week, I have been, it's interesting how those waves, right? It's really interesting how I'm so glad that the intention this week was joy, although I was not great at it this week, because, when you walk through life's lessons, you're really tested. And this week, boy, I've been tested for sure. Hi, Amy. Hi, Roseanne. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, ladies. Welcome.
Those are the ones that we can see. Thank you for joining us. So, August. I can hardly believe it. And August the 6th, everybody. And we're going into a new moon. The energies are very interesting. And in fact, yesterday, Eugenia gifted me a numerology reading because I don't know anything. I know I'm a Taurus. I know I can be bullheaded. I know I'm an empath. And beyond that, I don't know much, because she says, I wonder if your house is in Chiron. And I was like, you might as well be speaking another language, because I have no idea what.
You know who I follow? I think it's cool that she offered that to you and gifted that to you. I follow Carrie Samuels on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I've shared her a couple times because she's just such a, she goes by the happiness coach, and she's a numerologist. So that's really my vibe. I like people who are like super high vibing. They're honest. They look for the highest good and all that they share. And so super cool. And I wore green today because I have been having a couple migraines, and I know it's more hormonal and stuff like that, but I also feel like it's the energy. I feel like the energy is, do you ever feel like, and it's not negative, but do you ever feel like sometimes when the energy is so high that you get a migraine because it's just so much?
Remember what you said to me the other day, sister, how you said you've been getting a lot of migraines. And I think that, their headaches come in many different ways and many different reasons. Yeah. And it's very interesting because when I used to code at my job in my other lifetime, I used to code charts, and we used to have so many different codes for headaches, many different types of headaches. And so as an empath, as a sensitive, as a woman of a certain age, like I'm 57, and even though I'm hitting that Crohn's stage, you still have hormones as long as you have breath. And
Yeah.
there are different reasons for hormones going out of whack. You might be heading into that perimenopause. I know that you're still in the mothering stage.
I forget how old I am. I'm either 48 or 49. I think I just turned 49. Yeah, I think I'm 49. So
are you going to be the big 50 next year?
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh. It's going to be
Oh
amazing.
my God. I can see the party now.
Age, you know what? Age has never been a factor for me.
Me either.
Because I literally still dress like I dress better than I did in my 20s, honestly, because I just have better style. I'm like so much more comfortable. I know who I am now. I love who I am. I'm bigger than what I used to be. Like I was like a size 10, 12. I had a hot bod, right? And so I've grown, but I have become more joyful and confident in who I am as a person. And I believe that all started happening in 2015, when I met you and we met at that healing retreat. Mm-hmm. And I think you already knew about them, but that's when I learned more about the healing of the angels. And so today I'm connecting with Archangel Raphael because I have been having the migraines, and I was like, okay, there's something off, right? And I started taking some new herbs and things like that. So obviously my body is trying to adapt, and it's also trying to adapt to the energy being home. I was in Wisconsin, I was in California. Yeah. So the weather's different, the energy's different, the stress of travel, right? All of those things, I don't know if people really take into consideration when you're going through. And your body is constantly adjusting and then getting in alignment. So anyways, I know we're going off
I love that you went that route, because it is really important when you're feeling stress that what I'm hearing you say is to tap into the angels. Absolutely. Yep. Ask God for help to lay his healing hands and his healing angels under Raphael to help support us. All week I've been putting myself in the emerald green ray, and I've been every moment that I remember, I just ask God to lay his hands on my head and my body, because it was like a perfect storm. And I did a bit of a live yesterday about it, and I don't need to go into it today. If you guys are interested, go to my YouTube and you'll hear about my latest growth. But today we're talking about joy. And really, I remember at that same retreat that Deb and I were roommates at, and I'm so grateful for that. Was it 2014 or 2015?
15. Yeah, that was when I was introduced to Sunny.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful that we got to do that, and I'm certainly missing that energy right now. Like I'm feeling, even though we're in teacher roles, I still need teachers. I still need the guidance to help support me, because sometimes life gets overwhelming. And it could be, the reason we're talking about this is because stress is a part of life. As long as we have breath, there's going to be things that are going to cause stress, or that we're going to see as stress filled. And it's equally as important to still find the joy each day. And that's the thing. When you're down in the muck, you just want to feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
You might want to revert to old ways of doing, of maybe stuffing your emotions, eating that bag of chips, or not getting enough sleep, or eating ice cream. And so, I'm really blessed that on Monday, and I knew Debbie had just gotten back. So I said to her, I messaged her and I said, how are you today? How are you feeling? Because I didn't want to be an energy hog, but she allowed me to share. And so it helped me get into a state of grace and healing again. And Eugenia gifted me the reading and told me about this tea that I've been drinking that isn't that good, but I just keep drinking it thinking it's liquid light to help me. And all these remedies that I'm on, I feel very healthy today.
Yeah, I've been feeling pretty healthy the last couple of days. When I got back, I knew, I wasn't connecting with the angels. Well, that's not true. I was, just not like thinking about it, but I'm always like, hey,
Mhm.
angels, come on in, because I always need that extra guidance. And I kept seeing 222
Uh-huh.
everywhere, receipts, everywhere I went, the whole time I was on my travels and even still being home. So guys will have to look up 222. There's different meanings everywhere, but what it meant for me was to trust the process, have faith, and get in the
Mhm.
flow of trust in God and in the angels, and to trust my own intuition again. Because it's easy when you're traveling to get exhausted and to eat like shit, and you just start kind of feeling a little bit out of alignment. And so it was just that reminder, like, you're doing fine. Don't push your don't feel like you fell off the wagon. Trust yourself
Right.
that you can get right back on. And it's really that simple. It's like when you fall off a swing. You don't sit there
Yes.
and cry the whole time, right? You get right back up and you start swinging and you just,
Right.
woohoo, and you get right back into that joyful moment. So I'm going to jump into joy because that kind of like segued there. So you guys, I did put a little blurb, a little post about joy and the affirmation to work with this week. And it's joy and ecstasy flow through me wildly and freely. So I'm just going to quickly read the book so you guys can get an even deeper feeling and reading for this. And then while I'm reading, I would really love it if you guys would share in the comments, how did this card resonate for you? How did that affirmation guide you through the week? If it did help you, if it didn't help you, I would love to know anything that you guys have to offer during that while I am reading. Joy. I'm trying to find the the page. Okay. I don't have my glasses, so I'm going to do my absolute best. Okay, so let me hold up the card so you guys can get the energy of it. The card meaning: celebrate and have fun. Embrace life, yourself, and others. Say yes. Soar to the clouds and let your doubts dissolve. All is well. Your soul wants you to know it's simple. Your purpose in life is to experience joy. That's all that's required of you as a soul. Whatever your circumstances, there's always something that you can bring delight. And what you put your attention on will grow. When you focus on the areas of your life that bring you joy, those areas will prosper. One of the fastest paths to happiness is through sharing and giving. So give of your heart and share your love. Happiness spreads to others like wildfire and can help heal the world. Dance and sing with abandon. Joy is your spiritual birthright. So I hope that really connected with you guys, because I know it certainly did with me. That's literally what I have been feeling since I pulled this card. Even though I've had a migraine, I'm like dancing around the house and my silly animated self, I always use different accents when I talk, like I love the British accent and stuff like that. And my kids just laugh at me. And my husband and I were texting back and forth, and he's like, hello, governor. And I go, hello, good sir, and that's what we're texting, So that's some ways of bringing joy, is just allowing yourself to abandon all of that serious stuff that happens in life and really just get in touch with your childlike self. Because I think as an adult, we get so serious and we get pulled into all these serious thoughts, serious experiences, conversations, and those are great. They have a place. But they need to have a balance, right, Giuliana? You got to have a balance of when you're serious, when you're silly, when you're goofy, when you bring in laughter. I'll let you talk, but I want to share when you're done talking what I did last night, and it was super random. I went with the flow. I should have went to bed. At 9:15 because I get up at 6 a.m. now to help the lunches and stuff like that, because the boys start school at 7:30. But let me just share real quick. So it was really funny. I was on Facebook and I was watching some Hallmark little clip of a show that I wanted to watch, right? because I love Aaron Krakow with When Calls the Heart. Do you watch that show, by the way?
No.
Oh my gosh, so good. It's based in Canada. So I think you would really love it because the scenery is all Canadian and everything. So it's like, so your place. Anyways, it's such a great show. But anyways, and you know how on Facebook it'll take you to different videos?
Mm-hmm.
Like you finish one and then it takes you to another and then you just keep going.
I know,
So it was
I love
really
it.
funny. Don't you love that? Because it's just so unexpected. You don't know what you're gonna. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. But this last night was so funny because speaking of British, because I love British accents, I think British people are some of the funniest freaking people because they have such dry humor, and so it ended up taking me to this Graham Norton like talk show. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it was all about he had like Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt, and oh my gosh, just hilarious. I was laughing my butt off. So here I am. I got my headphones on. I'm laying in bed. My husband's next to me, and I'm all trying to be as quiet as I can, but I'm just laughing. and I couldn't go to bed till like 11 o'clock because it just kept going to the next clip. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't take it. This is so funny. And then he got to one video with Robin Williams. And we all know how funny Robin Williams was, right? Like, oh my gosh, talk about a guy who could bring like joy to a screen. But anyways, I digress. So when you pay attention, like what it says in the book, right? When we allow joy to flow in and we set our intentions and we set our mind on creating joy, it will show up for you. Whether you plan it or not, you don't have to go looking for it. It just shows up. And then that's how it can start to fill you up and start shifting your energy and get you back in alignment.
Sometimes it's hard. Well, I'm just thinking of, it's interesting because I learned through the healing how important joy is. And you even said, the universe, joy is our birthright.
Totally.
This is what a lot of people forget. And all of the great masters say suffering is optional. We humans, it's that ego that wants us in that, I don't know what to even call it, in that state of dis-ease and miserable. And that saying, misery loves company, is so true. And right now, we're feeling the divisiveness in the collective and here on the planet. And we need to tap into joy each day. It's imperative. Like it really is. And this is like a clarion call to all of us to remember to bring joy in each day. That doesn't mean that we are like ignorant to the what's going on in the world or what's going on in our homes or our cities or on our planet. I mean, right now, my God, I just saw pray for Greece. The other day it was pray for Turkey. There's fires everywhere and fires right here in my backyard. The smoke is so intense. Even I go out I'm doing the Gabby Bernstein, thanks to you, meditations. And I missed yesterday. It was a yoga nidra. And I thought, well, I'm just going to go sit outside. And Paulie wakes up and he goes, what are you doing outside? It's too smoky. And I'm like, well, like I still need to connect to nature. I can hear the birds out there. I look at the grass and I call in the fairies. And, because of my neighbors, I'm calling in the fire dragons. And it's easy for me to invoke all these shields when I'm outside for some reason, when I'm in nature. And it really does bring me a state of grace and ease, being one with nature, because we are part of it. Like we're not separate. And so for me, it is a part of my joy to go outside. And I've been doing that a lot this year. Just, I think that in the past, because I didn't know how important joy was, I would get into that misery and I would feel so sick all the time. And I'm like you, I do get headaches. And mine are because when I had, those that know me know that I had stage 3 peritoneal cancer 10 years ago. And it's interesting because it's been exactly 10 years since my first surgery. And so hormonally, even this tea that Jenya prescribed for me this morning, when I was reading about it, says it increases your estrogen. So then I needed to sit in prayer to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, because I'm doing it for my hair and I don't want to start other things in my body. So I'm telling you, Debbie, it is so important to tap into joy each day in whatever way that you can, even if it's only a few minutes, you guys. For me, sitting outside, and by Friday, my grass is quite tall. So Maxie, Maxie, my little dog, when he's pouncing in the grass, it just brings me so much joy. I laugh at him because he's such a little character. And then, big ass dogs will walk by, because we have a path right behind our house, and he barks his little butt off. And, that makes me laugh, because he's this little dog that thinks he's a Great Dane. And so, these are the things, you guys. Joy is a really important topic today. And that's not to negate all of the hardships in life. It's like you can have your misery, your healing, and you can have joy on the other side.
And you can have it all synonymously, right? It doesn't mean, oh, I'm miserable, oh, I can't have joy. Why can't you allow both to be part of it?
That's a great word, allow, sister, because I think that the old me, when I look at my old versions, it was like, I can't lament and be joy-filled. Like, I didn't know how to do both. It was almost...
Well, it's like faith and fear, right? It's like you can't have faith that something's going to happen and then fear that it's not going to happen. But you do feel it. People feel it. Yeah. Well, you either have to get into the flow of it and allow and trust. It's all of these words, right? These words have energy. Do you remember when Doreen Virtue did those books? And it was those words, and she did certain words had energy and the vibration and what the vibration scale. And fear had such a negative vibration, right? Where love, joy, hope, faith all had, it even showed on that, I don't know what it was called. It was like a recording scale or something like that. And it would just raise it. So you can be in a negative environment and you can still vibrate joy. That's just an environment around you. And that goes into what I was saying in the post. How do you feel joy? Well, you have to embrace the joy. You have to, like today, I was listening to, I asked Suri, I go to my phone, and I don't do this every morning. I'm not consistent with anything, because I wake up and each day I have a new feeling, new intention, new urges, new things that I want to do. And so, but sometimes I do this and I ask Suri, hey Suri, play me a song. I have a ton of music on there, right? That's for Apple Music. And it started with a song. It started with Journey. And I just listened to it as I was working on my computer for like 2 hours, just listening to random songs that just kept popping up. And that brought me joy. Here I'm doing things, which is a job. I'm so grateful that I have a part-time job that I love and adore, and that I can sit on my couch in my room anywhere I want to go, and I can listen to music. I can put a movie on. There's so many different opportunities that we have, that we get to create the joy that we want in our life. And it doesn't even matter what's going on around me. My husband could be having a hard time in his office down the hall, feeling stressed out, worried, but it doesn't have to affect me. I can listen. God bless you. I can listen. Thank you. But then I am responsible for maintaining my own energy. I am responsible for maintaining my own joy. And I encourage and invite all of you to maybe take that viewpoint. And I believe that's what the card that I used is Denise Lynn's soul coaching card, and she's a phenomenal teacher. And I believe that's what her intention was this card, is to know that your birthright is joy. And that means you came into this world as joy, and you have that within you at all times. You can tap into any emotion that you choose in any single second, and you don't have to allow others to take over your energy.
Mhm.
They'll come
Yeah,
in,
I
right?
kept hearing embody joy, embody
Yeah,
joy, the embodiment of
I love
joy.
that.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
and I think I was getting it for me because I have been very sad this week.
Oh,
Oh, you know, it is what it is.
yeah. Well, I wanted to share, if you're all right with this, we talked about it before we came
Yes.
on, that because Giuliana is an amazing goddess teacher, and we also both have similar mentors, and Colette Baron Reed happens to be one of our common mentors that we use. And so she has this goddess deck. So if you guys don't have it, it's definitely worth looking into. I'm not suggesting buying it because we're not affiliated with it. But anyways, I just felt really guided to the goddess energy this week because, again, I needed to get back into my own energy. And the quickest way to do that is to get connected with God, source, and to also get into my feminine energy. And that's what Giuliana brings in with the goddesses, right? So the goddess that chose me this week is Rhea. And I honestly have never heard of her in my life, but I love the word that she was encouraging me with was flow.
Yes.
And I want to bring also to your guys' awareness that I had pulled a card for you guys for this group, Joy. And if you read that again, joy and ecstasy flow through me wildly and freely. So isn't it amazing that joy, it's your affirmation is talking about flow. And then I pulled my own personal card, which I'm sharing with you now, was also flow. So that's another way of creating joy, right? Is that we have to be open to what spirit, whether it's the angels, God, the goddesses, whomever is reaching out to you, it's coming from light. But let me just read real quick what the message is for Rhea. So it's called an empowerment message. And it says, do you notice how when you're in alignment with the universe, everything in your life just seems to flow? The Greek goddess Rhea, oh my gosh, you were talking about Greece. Pray for Greece. Okay. We'll go back to that. The Greek goddess Rhea, whose very name means flow and ease, comes to let you know that you're entering such a time. While the flow state is not permanent for most people, it's a beautiful feeling that allows you to lose yourself in the rhythm. It's as if you're traveling down a magic stream where ideas and insights pour through you from a vast source of information that is gifted to you. The way to ensure you remain in this beautiful energy as long as you can is to observe your life with a relaxed relaxed attention, listening to the guidance presented to you as you move forward without restraint or fixed ideas. You can enter a flow state anytime you're willing to release your expectations. It requires trust, and the goddess Rhea ensures your boat will never capsize as you move from a slow stream to a rapid river. I absolutely just love that. Do you have anything to add based on your
absolutely.
goddess?
You know, it's interesting because I did Oracle Palooza with Colette on the weekend, and one of my very first cards was Mountain. And mountain meant that a lot of times we humans think that everything in front of us is this big mountain that we need to climb up it. But instead, if we can look at it as like the river flows around the mountain, that we can get into that flow. Remember, go with the flow. Divine grace is flowing to all of us. And so I love that. I can see how important that flow is. It's like, even for me, Debbie, whenever we're walking through anything, because that's the thing, we're all humans, we're all going to have lessons. Just because you become a spiritual teacher, claim that title, or think that you've healed yourself, it's a continuous flow. And there are always going to be things to come, and that we can get into that lessons gently and going with the flow and incorporating all of these energies, yes, under God, with the goddesses. Like even I mentioned the fire dragons. You guys, I believe in all of these energies of light to support us in what we're walking through. If you believe it, it is so.
Yeah.
And getting into that flow that is available to all of us.
Exactly.
With joy. doesn't mean, like Debbie said, doesn't mean we need to be shitty attitude or joy. No, we can have the crappy attitude and still experience joy in the same moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
the power of our thoughts. It's taking action to bring in something that's going to embody joy. Could be laughing like a cuckoo bird. And on IG right now, I don't know if you guys have Instagram, but I love watching the reels. And right now they have that song, Yow! I feel good. And people are going to do like, I posted some on my story because they're going to do like a job and somebody puts that music on and then they freak out. And I laugh like a cuckoo bird, like a cuckoo bird. And so I was like, I'm sure I was in the tub listening to these. And I thought, I'm thank God Paulie was downstairs because he just thinks I'm weird anyways. But I was laughing my butt off.
Yeah.
And it felt so good just to laugh. It's like, yeah, I can still be walking through my growth this week and be joy filled and be happy and be faith filled and be healing and doing all these remedies for my physical body.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's important that you don't stay in the same state.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay if something doesn't feel great, but that doesn't mean that you have to live it, breathe it every moment of the day. Allow yourself those joy breaks, even if it's hard. I mean, I guarantee these people that are having fires around them and losing loved ones and concerned and worried about the COVID stuff going on. If we just inundate ourselves with so much worry and doubt, you're doing the opposite of what you are here to do. And it's to be a joy-filled, faith-filled, love person. You are love. You are just, and it's much easier. It actually is harder to radiate anger, hate, fear, worry, and doubt. It's so much easier to radiate love because that's exactly who we are and that's where we came from. So,
but people don't feel it.
Well, because some people haven't. I know for myself that it took me a while to really understand what love is and what it truly felt like, because you only know what it feels like when you were a child. And sometimes when you didn't feel the love and you're just like, well, was that love? Was that not love? But what we do is we allow ourselves to open up our awareness to what's going on in the world and search out those things. And then our bodies will let us know that's love. That's what you're deserving of.
But that's joy. What I'm saying. I think, yes, our natural state is love and joy, but due to all of the trauma that people endure, I think that's why, look at the divisiveness right now. Even in one person that I know just said on her Facebook that if you are pro-vaccine, to like, there's the door. Why are we doing this to people? If we truly love each other, if I choose to vaccinate and you don't, or if I choose not to and you do, can't we still love each other?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be you're on that side of the line and I'm on this side of the line? And call it what you want. It is discrimination.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It happens. It happens.
Here's the mountain.
And people are going to judge no matter what, because they're only judging from their own perspective and their own awareness. It is not my responsibility to convince others that I'm a good person or my decisions are correct and theirs are correct. And we're all entitled. We all came here for lessons. We all came here to learn. We all came here to live a life, right? And it's not my job to prove to you that I'm doing okay. It is my job to look at myself in the mirror and go, I love you, Debbie, for exactly who you are and the decisions that you make right now. And in 5 minutes, I might make a completely different decision. But that doesn't make me less of an authentic person because I changed my mind.
Right.
That just means that I have free will. And just like when we have to invite the angels in, right? we have free will, they have free will. They can't just invade our energy. Just like when we do mediumship, we have to invite those energies in to truly have an authentic, safe, and high vibrational reading, right? So people can project whatever they want. It's what we allow to come into our space. Someone can call me nasty names walking through an airport because I choose to wear a mask because I'm choosing not to vaccinate at this point. And if I allow those words to penetrate me and I respond, I've given my power to them. And now I'm trying to prove that I'm right and you're wrong, or I'm okay, or I'm safe. I don't really give a shit. I was created by the likeness of God, and I am part of God, and I don't care what anyone else thinks of me about that. I stand in my power, and I know exactly who I am and the decisions that I'm making. And there's nobody or nothing. And gosh forbid, if anything comes at me, I'll deal with it then. But I just feel like it's my choice to be in a state of worry, doubt, fear, or a state of grace, love, and joy. It's my choice. And it's everybody else's choice.
I pulled the mountain card because I think it fits right in. So that's the mountain. You'll see the great mountain. You'll see the light shining on the mountain. It is card number 6. And it says, you have the capacity to flow around any obstacle. This is the time to adapt. Sometimes you'll come across what appears to be an insurmountable obstacle, like a huge mountain that separates you from your success. You might think that climbing it or chiseling away at it is the answer. But why take such a treacherous, tedious approach? Why? Be like the rivers that flow around mountains naturally. You'll move past this obstacle relatively quickly if you choose the easy way around. How many of us choose the hard way? Because we can't see the easy way because we're in ego.
Yeah.
Because we aren't asking God and goddesses and angels and guides and fairies and dragons and whatever energies, ascended masters to help you. Asking each other for support. Adapting.
And taking a moment to really breathe into that. Because it's really easy to get moving so quickly that you miss those signs. And it's just like that. It's just like that fun that I think you've posted it. I've seen it a lot on social media, that where the spirit guides are just like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Like you keep asking me for a sign. Hello, I'm giving you a sign. I want to be in joy. I want to be happy. Please help me. Oh shit, I gotta go do this again, and I gotta go do this again, and this asshole cut me off, and we're so focused on all the shit that's going on around us instead of focusing on, hello, Debbie, your spirit guide is here. I'm sending you the 222. Have faith. We are here with you. We're surrounding you. We're loving you. We're giving you what you're asking for. And you're so focused on the jerk that's in front of you instead of focusing on the love that is around you. And so, I mean, again, I think we're talking about joy. We're talking about flow. We're talking about the mountain. We're talking about choice, I think, is ultimately one of the main things, right? We all have a choice. And that's the great thing about life and about this human experience that we get to have. We have a choice.
And I just want to acknowledge Rosie, because Rosie says this mountain card is really speaking to me and it's changing my perspective. I think I've been trying to blast a hole through the mountain or something. And I hear you and I understand. And I know at least I know part of the reason why. And yes, that is absolutely true, because the human condition thinks that we need to suffer through everything, or we lean on our own devices to get through something, and we forget to ask and be open to receive. And a lot of times the answer is right in front of us. And we're wishing that things were a different way than what they are. And I'll never forget when Sunny taught us, I don't know, Debbie, if it was at the retreat we were at together, where she said, if we had a fire in front of us And all of us had to throw our crap, our worries, our problems into the fire. All of us would grab our own shit out of that fire rather than someone else's. None of us, and I really want you to hear this, none of us are getting out of this life without our lessons. Yeah. And unfortunately, there is a lot of pain. So we're not negating that fact. We're just bringing you into awareness that joy, love, light is the answer when you are facing that mountain. I want to show you the card again. When you're facing that mountain, that the light is always shining on that mountain and the river is flowing around it. Mm-hmm. And there are times, like, look at the mountain. It looks like really like there's a lot of pain in that mountain with the mouth open and the eyes almost closed. And it looks quite scary, actually. Yeah. And that's how life is at times. It's like we need to acknowledge where we're at, figure out how are we going to get around it. Yeah. And that's why mentorship, that's why readings, that's why healing helps. Because even for me, like, I couldn't wait for Debbie to get back because I knew she was on holidays and I didn't want to, you know, I always want to be mindful of the energy that I bring. So I said to her, are you, like, how are you feeling? Are you too tired to talk today? Because I didn't want to, you know, she just got home. But then when she said, oh no, I'm fine, like, go ahead, then I knew it was okay to share. Because you always need somebody to share what you're walking through or you're going to blow. Yeah. You are, Rosie. Or anybody that's feeling that way. Even those of us that think that we're farther along down the road, it doesn't matter. There's still going to be obstacles for each of us to overcome. And we get by with a lot of help from the divine and our friends that we trust. Yeah.
Well, it's important that people acknowledge that life is meant to be, we're here to have lessons, right? We rose our hand when this is what I visualize, and here we're in heaven, right? Yeah. Some people don't believe in heaven, but when you're up there and your angels and your guardian angel is being assigned to you and your spirit guides being assigned to you, and they're like, okay, well, what do you want to do when you go down onto that earth plane? What are some of those lessons? And we feel like we can take on everything, right? We're like, oh, I'll take a little bit of it. It's like a buffet. I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this lesson, and I can do it all. And then we get down here and we go through the birth canal and we come out and we cry and we're like, and we get taken care of, and hopefully we get taken care of. And then then we're on our own and we're trying to figure out how to maneuver through life. And we lose that flow that we had before we came. And we're like, ooh. And a lot of people, I was not aware that I chose these lessons that I was supposed to experience. Loss, right? Losing a child, having miscarriages, things like that. I didn't know in my spirit at the time, I didn't know that I chose this experience. So I lived many years with guilt and worry and doubt that of my femininity and what my purpose is as a woman, right? And I wasn't in the flow. I was in the expectation and all of that, like expecting what the world was expecting of me as a woman, as a girl, as a girlfriend, as a wife, as a daughter. I was all in the expectation mode and I wasn't ever in the flow until I became super duper aware of the healing process that we could go through. And that's where Rhea's helping me and Raphael's helping me is you need that reminder. You need that reminder that you can get back into the flow and you can even find a different flow. You could have a different river going around a mountain.
I just want to interject because, you know, some people might not believe in goddesses and might not believe in God, and that's okay. We use these terms, but they're interchangeable according to what your experience is. And so we don't want anybody to ever shy away because of language. we just happen, that's our experience. So that's
Mhm.
with so much love. If you don't resonate with goddess, maybe you resonate with the word flow. Go with the flow.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you resonate God and you don't resonate goddess. That's okay too.
Yep.
So just know that we always offer the support to help. I want to share that I had this amazing teacher who wrote the 5 lessons of life that I got to learn, and they are faith, faith in something bigger than us. We call him God. Trust, trust that we're divinely guided, that we are part of that whole. Forgiveness, forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others,
Mm.
because we deserve peace. Compassion, again, for yourself and others. You know, where's our compassion right now?
Yeah.
I don't want to lose everybody that is on the other side of the road as I am. Why can't we meet in the middle and love each other, no
Yeah.
matter what your choices are right now?
Yeah.
Why? And mostly love, unconditional love. I think that one is one of the hardest, because I know that as I walk through life, I had conditions placed on me, especially by my teachers. And when I told my mother how these teachers, you know, would ridicule me because of my weight and how it pained me, it pained her because I had kept it in. And now I can forgive them. Forgive them for what they didn't know. Forgive them for the pain that they caused me. Forgiving them because they didn't see the light in me. And I am one of the most joy-filled people that a lot of people know, even from when I was a little girl. And that's why I think Debbie and I resonate so strongly together,
Mm-hmm.
because we can continue to walk through our own lessons and still nurture each other, and then come on live and hopefully nurture one of you.
Yeah.
So I love this word for this week, joy.
I do too. It really hit home for me. And it honestly, I was so grateful that it was my week to pull and that came up. I was like, yay, we're going to talk about joy. This is what I
Yeah.
need. It's almost like the card came to us because we needed it so much. Right. And
Yeah.
so when you need it and you're feeling that lack and you're just like, oh, what am I missing right now? And then you get that card and that's your sign. That's your reminder. Like, oh, that's what I'm missing right now. Yay. So then we start setting the intention. We start putting that energy out, right? Because all of a sudden that's in our awareness. And then we set that energy out and then we attract your the posts and stuff. Giuliana does most of the posting that goes on in this group. And she was attracting a lot of memes and things like that talked about joy. It was just amazing, and it's just so uplifting. So I appreciate. I think it was Roseanne who said that it's really been helping. The uplifting posts have been really helping through her weeks and stuff like that. So that's what this group is about. That's why Giuliana and I came together, because we were hearing that. We would come on and we would be silly and we were laughing. And then Giuliana's like, we have something here, Deb. We can do something. We can do things separately, but we can do just as much, if not more sometimes, when we come together. Because we're two strong women who have very similar faith and similar beliefs with completely different life up, the way we were brought up and the way that we perceive life sometimes. And yet we still get to come together and embrace life with all of these women, because it seems like we attract very strong women as well. So I'm so grateful that we have this platform that we've created, and in this beautiful audience of women that we have. And Tanya, I just want to say thank you so much. I saw that Giuliana, while I was talking, put up strong light, the two of you. Thank you. That is exactly why we created this. Was because we saw the light in ourselves and we knew we could invite you guys to come shine your lights with us. So I'm super grateful that we have this opportunity.
Me too. So to close, everybody, I want to ask you to ask yourself these questions. Number one, do I feel joy in my life? And you don't have to answer right now, but tonight, really check in with your heart. Are you feeling joy right now? Why or why not? Number two, do I love being in nature? Number three, do I take time each day to play? And number four, do I know I have an inner child within me wanting to be noticed? Do you know that? Are you allowing her out or him out to play? It's imperative, you guys. It's vital.
It is.
It's vital. Especially now. There has never been a time in history where it is more important, because a joy-filled you irradiates and embodies light and all that is good. And then you step out of the ego and into the spirit, and then you can acknowledge the joy in other people's life. And then you're embodying kindness. And I love kindness. I want to thank Debbie so much for pulling that beautiful card this week. Any lasting words, dear Deb?
No, I just want to acknowledge who we used this week. The joy card was the soul coaching. Excuse me.
Well,
you guys can find that. Thank you. I think I got it on Hay House. So if you guys want your own cards. And then I just want to acknowledge the people that we've used, because we do use their products a lot. And Colette Baron Reed, her Goddess Power Oracle deck. And then the Enchanted
Giuliana
Map. Used the Enchanted Map by, again, Colette Baron Reed. So
I just did Oracle Palooza this weekend, and this was a revamped Enchanted Map. If any of you have the old deck, it's exactly the same, just the packaging. It's lighter, you can see, because it just feels, it's an amazing deck, you guys. I have a new favorite.
I like shuffling this one better.
Yeah.
I thought it was an easier shuffle. It did have a little bit of a different energy. I want to just also mention, I did put it into the post on Monday, but you guys remember that Giuliana and I come here because we want to connect with you guys, and we want to be here to be support. But we also want to invite you to hire us to offer you, to give you guys readings. And we like to come together. We offer our own individual readings that you can go to our individual websites. It's our first and last name, DebbieLevinsky.com and JulianaMello.com, if you want your own individual readings with us. But if you want to come together and you like what you see with the hour or 45 minutes that we come here on Fridays together, you get that when you're with us, and you get so much more. I mean, you see how we connect, and the more and more we build up with each in the reading and stuff. So I encourage you guys, if you have that in the $100 that you are, if you're struggling, or if you're having some pain points and you're not being able to flow around that mountain, we can guide you and help you and open up maybe a path for you. We can't make you go down the path, but we can certainly guide you and support you during that time together. So I encourage you to take a look at our websites, reach out to one of us, and it's $100. It's about 50 to 60 minutes that you get to spend with both Giuliana and I. And it's just a beautiful experience. It's very high vibrational. We do resonate very strongly with our angels during that time, and the light energy. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Of, one of the purpose of why we came together is that we just see that we do have a lot to offer, way more than just once a week for this time with you guys. So thanks for letting me share.
Rosie's asking when we would do it. Absolutely, Rosie. Please reach out. We have set aside 1 p.m. However, if you need it at noon or at 11, Debbie and I can see what's going on in our day. We are adaptable, but absolutely on Fridays around this time. That's because I work out of Joy and Vitality. Mondays, I have other duties that I do during the week. So Debbie and I have carved out Fridays. So we're willing to work with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys are interested in readings with Debbie and me, you know, Debbie talked about mediumship. It's really powerful, you guys. I don't have that gift yet, only because I've chosen not to go down that road for personal reasons. However, when Debbie and I are together, the divine, it's like an amplification. And I mean, you just have to experience it.
Yeah.
Okay. Be guided by your spirit if we're the right ones for you. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. It's been
Thank
such a
you.
blessing to be
Thank
with
you.
you.
I love Fridays.
Me
I'm in
too.
a state of joy right now being with you and all the beautiful ladies that showed up today. Thank you, each and every one of you.
Thank you.
I wish you health. I wish you wealth. I wish you joy, and be blessed. Thank you, Debbie. See you next week, sister.
Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.